So the Unrivaled ratings are in to begin season 2, and they're not great. To be honest, it what should have been kind of expected. This is the second season. You're probably gonna peak at the first time you come out, which last year I believe they were in the 300s, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna pull up the numbers in just a second. The Athletics Ben Pickman put them out. Saw people talking about the key demo rating as well. That was like kind of some misinformation from folks that don't know how ratings work. And it was a .04 in the demo, which I think comes out to like 50,000 in the key demo, which is 18 to 49. That's who the advertisers typically, aim their, dollars at per se. So let's take a look right here. Ben Pickman from The Athletic. He says the Unrivaled opening day on Monday averaged 175,000 viewers during its prime time window of games. Afternoon window averaged 107,000. All of that is down from the 208,000 average during the regular season games last year. But he later put out a correction and apparently was lower than that. The entire day of 4 games combined to average 107,000 viewers. So that is, I don't know how you spin that any other way but disappointing. I think Unrivaled Season 2 has a lot working against it. Obviously, I think it has even less star power than it did last year. A lot of this is falling on Paige Becker's back, and Paige Becker's has never been any kind of ratings dynamo or anything, and they gave her the primetime slot against last year's champions. I checked out, I want to say the afternoon session. I was watching it, and I saw the first game. I had something else to do a little bit later, so I didn't see the third game. And I'm rather indifferent on Unrivaled. I think most people that you see that primarily talk about like Caitlin Clark and Indiana Fever are either flat out hostile towards it or just don't, get into it at all. For me, I guess the way I look at Unrivaled, it is for me like if it didn't exist tomorrow, I wouldn't care, and if it continued, another 25 years, I probably wouldn't care. For me, it's like the women's Drew League, and if you guys know what the Drew League is, that's like where the NBA players sometimes show up in the summertime, and they'll basically divide them up onto random teams and go against each other and just get some good open runs in. And in my opinion, that's kind of what Unrivaled is. I felt like Unrivaled would struggle with team identity. They would struggle with like, do they even make trades with each other? Like, it's one entity that controls everything. It's not like organizations. It's not really fan based. They have a small fan section at their arena, but ultimately, Unrivaled is like a televised Drew League, in my opinion, and I wouldn't ever consider the Drew League as like NBA quality basketball or top level foreign league basketball. And, the harsh truth about this thing is it's 3-on-3. And in most places, 3-on-3 is a gimmick thing. Like, this is something that you do when you don't have enough people to play. Just in everyday life, 3-on-3 is an Olympic sport now. Took a while to really get that going. I think it's just going to be a tough sell to the American public without the proper star power. I think a lot of people are antagonistic toward the league primarily because of the front faces of it, with Nafisa Collier or Breonna Stewart never really warming themselves up to the public. I would say Paige is out there as well. Paige, through like no fault of her own, she just doesn't have that same gravitational pull as someone like a Caitlin Clark. And I think a lot of people are getting that rude awakening right now. I don't think it's super basketball or anything. I think it's just something that's on TV, honestly. I think that Unrivaled in concept, like, this is something that was basically propped up the last 2 years by the players as insurance against the lockout. And, smart on them for coming up with that and raising capital. And they've got a lot of money in this thing. So, like, just because the ratings were somewhat disappointing to open year 2, they're still going to be, making, their money and all that. You just would like the ratings to reflect and, get further belief from the network. They had the opening part on True TV. They're splitting it between streaming. They have it on TNT. So there are other metrics that I'm sure us, the public, are not aware of that TNT can evaluate them on, and Warner Brothers, WBD can evaluate them on and see whether they're successful, whether they want to keep, investing further into this thing. But for me, Unrivaled is really hard because it's not really team based. It's strictly like it's a fantasy league for the players, and I just don't know why I'm stopping in the middle of my day on a regular basis. Because last year, I started watching the beginning, kind of fell off just because for me, like, there's not really these team rivalries like that. I know people will say, "Oh, there's the Breeze and the Rose," there's all this stuff, but it's like it feels like it's all like, yeah, you have to watch Unrivaled. It's like, yo, what if I just want to watch this one team? Like, you can't really do that. Like, you have to like be in touch with everyone or every team in the league and watch like the double headers essentially. I don't know if everyone has time for that. And kudos to them for like condensing the games and making it shorter. I think it is smart to like stack them like that. But I think there's a lot of things that Unrivaled has to reckon with and kind of face the music on when it comes to the general public. It may be a phenomenal thing for the players that feel like they're taken care of. They got first class facilities, they got sponsorships, they've got they've got about 1,000 people in their gym. They are on TNT with this thing, but ultimately you're selling a product to the public, and the public is dictating that. I don't know if there's really demand for this product right now. And in the long run, obviously they would have a problem. And then Project B is probably going to lurk and probably present a problem to Unrivaled in the offseason. There's a lot that comes with discussing Unrivaled. Like I said, I am rather neutral on Unrivaled. I don't really feel a strong way about it one way or the other. I do like, seeing some of the individual skills or highlights that drop from it. I think Marina Mabry accidentally brought some smoke into the arena, which with Marina Mabry, like, I don't know if she was informed of the rules here. Like, they ain't supposed to be competing that hard, but she clearly didn't get the memo, and it actually felt like, whoa, is there something on the line here? Is there something to really care about? Win wise, like, is there real competition going on? So I didn't really get upset seeing Marina Mabry lose her cool. I thought that, from the stuff that I saw, the first week, like, you got some people taking it seriously, some people working themselves into shape, but you got no Sabrina Ionescu, you got no Angel Reese, obviously you don't have Caitlin Clark, you don't have Asia Wilson, you don't have Nafisa Collier now because she has to get surgery on both ankles. So this is naturally kind of where things were headed, and they're relying heavily on the personality and social media of some of the marketing, and Unrivaled, they're dropping like a television show, like a 10-minute YouTube video, trying to move these like individual storylines around. But I feel like that cannot be the central thing. The central thing has to be the game. Like, you come to see the game. Like, those storylines, let the storylines like kind of emerge themselves. It's like they're putting time into trying to make the storylines. I don't know, man. Unrivaled could be around. It could fold, the next, coming years. I don't really know one way or another. But when I look at the truth of the matter in it, it just feels like, I think if you were rooting against Unrivaled succeeding, you saw these numbers come in, and you saw the highlights kind of come and go Monday, and we got to wait for the weekend for the next set of games. And I think you probably feel like you feel good. And if you're rooting for Unrivaled, I don't like. It's almost like you gotta go get them again, Tiger. You gotta basically go back in the bunker and hope they do better next week. But typically, how this rating stuff works, week one is the peak. So Make peace with that however you will. My name is Rich Latta. This is One Lifetime. Let me know, did you watch Unrivaled? What do you think of the league? And what do you think of the comparison of being the Drew League? That's what I think it is. I think it's just the Drew League. And the Drew League is, there can be legendary moments that happen in it, but it's ultimately a side quest. So until then, I'm Rich.